Okay, so hello and welcome to today's webinar, First Time CAD Modeling. Thank you for taking time and being here today. We'll be running a live Q&A at the end of this webinar. So we have enabled our Ask a Question feature. It is at the central bottom of your screen in the Zoom webinar. So if you have questions, just pop them in there. And if you miss anything, do not worry. We'll be sending around the on-demand recording when it's available. My name is Varun Hita, and I'm the community manager here at Autodesk. And I'll quickly share my screen. There we go. So I still recommend and encourage everybody to park your questions till the end, and we'll be doing the 15 minutes Q&A round after this webinar, and we'll answer all the major questions that you may have. So people who are not aware of this is Fusion 360, which is an integrated CAD, CAM, and CAE software, which offers industrial design, simulation, solid modeling, generative design, documentation and drawings, manufacturing, rapid prototyping, electronic design, and collaboration with a single product portfolio. It is a cloud-based CAD CAM CAE solution that can unify your design, engineering, manufacturing, and electronics in a single platform. We have been noticing that there was a very need of the hour in where people with multidisciplinary background demanded real-time collaboration, seamless integration, and instant accessibility. That's exactly why we have Fusion 360. Today we have Sirsa Sisikant with us. She's going to take this amazing webinar on first-time CAD modeling. If you have never experienced something about CAD, if you are new to Fusion, so this is the session for you. So hold tight. We have Sirsa with us. So welcome, Sirsa. Thank you for joining with us today. Over to you.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to me to be here, to be a part of this webinar series, and I also appreciate your enthusiasm to make best use of your time during this lockdown. So I hope, as Varun has introduced you, I'm Sirisha Shishikant, and I'll be introducing myself more during our session. So let me first share my screen with you. Is my screen visible?
Yes.
Right.
Maybe you can present now. This is good.
Right. So we are going to take the session on first time CAD modeling. So my audience I'm expecting are those who want to learn design. So I'm here to also teach you Fusion 360 and also probably to inspire you to design. So today's agenda is going to be this. We are going to see why design is important, how we can generate ideas, what are the essential elements of a good product design, or you can see what are the key ingredients for us to have a good product design recipe, right? And for 30 minutes, we'll be seeing Fusion 360 interface, and we'll also be having an interesting challenge at the end of the session. So moving on, a brief introduction about myself. I've done my ME long back in 2003, and I had a brief career of 3 years in CAD. And after that, I can say that I got a long gap of 10 years. And from 2018, I started using Fusion 360. I've also started teaching Fusion 360 and doing some independent projects also. So you can get more details about my courses on Fusion 360 at mcethart.com, my website. And recently I've started a new website called designsangam.com, which I want to make it as a platform for making inventions possible in a much quicker way. So when a person comes with an idea, he can get people who can help him in making inventions possible, like manufacturers, designers, and IP patent providers, and everybody under one roof. So that's the goal. Now moving on to our session, why design? So why do you think design is important, or why do you want to learn design? So before I ask you that question, I want to answer it in my view. So what design actually gives me is the freedom. It gives me the confidence to make new things, to invent new things. So if I have some ideas in my brain, if I see something outside, I feel that I can make a better product than that. Or I see a problem, I can solve that problem through a product. right? So all these virtual things that are these ideas that I have in my mind, through design I can bring it to the actual world, right? To the virtual world I can bring it, and then all the people around me can understand my ideas. So that is the kind of freedom that it gives. And also in today's COVID-19 situation also, if you have seen, many designers just in 3 months of time, they have come up with brilliant inventions, like whether or simple products like face shields and all, which are helping our frontline providers and all. And so designers have the power to create new things. So that's what excites me about design. So now I would like to ask you this question: what excites you to learn design? So think over it. You can keep it in the chat box also. And also we can see your ideas and your interests later, right? So I hope that answer is much bigger than saying that your professor has asked you to learn this or you want to get a job, right? So moving on, what are the different sources to generate ideas, right? So let me tell you from where you can generate your ideas. First thing is, you first have to have some problem. Only then you can have some ideas. So let us suppose you're sitting in a coffee shop, right? And you're having a sip of coffee with your friend in a canteen or even at home, right? So you see this cup and you feel that I can do a better version of it. You don't like the color, you don't like the texture, or maybe you like it so much that you want to make it on your own, right? So this is where your first, sprout, you can say, of your idea begins. So how do you just take it to the virtual world now from your idea? First thing is, I would recommend you to go for a rough sketching. So take a paper and start sketching, right? Any rough sketch is okay. Then if you're an industrial engineering student, you might have learned industrial drawing. So through that also you can start drawing this. Then engineering drawing. If I always recommend that people should have sound knowledge of engineering drawing, though we can make many very good engineering drawings after we learn Fusion or after we learn a CAD software, but reading engineering drawing is also important. So if you're working somewhere, you'll be handed over with some blueprint, and you should be able to know how to read these dimensions and all, right? So next, of course, all our product designers today are going to be putting those their own ideas and all and displaying to this world through social media. So whatever idea you have, whether you want to make a headphone or a car, you will be getting many ideas through the already, product designers who have already made them using Pinterest, Instagram, Instructables and all. You can, and Instructables is a great platform for budding designers. They can see how makers are making interesting things all over the world. Then moving on, my best place for inspiration, I always feel, is clipart, because clipart has so many ideas. So if I just, you can see so many shapes. Of course, all the cliparts cannot be probably converted to design because they're just piece of art. It might not be practically possible. But then I feel on the lighter side, I can say that even if you're copying that idea, nobody is going to sue you. And the designer might, in fact, thank you for doing so. Next, so are we ready to design? So is that the only thing that you need for design? So, right? Is this enough? Well, no, because we need to know about the design essentials. So what are the basic essential things that are required or that are to be kept in mind before designing this? So I would say, let me quote something. So if you can see here, design is not just what it looks like and feels like. Design is how it works. So this is what Steve Jobs had to say with this, with actual design, right? So moving on, let's see what this means. Here you can see an aesthetically pleasing equipment, right? This is a water planting device, but can you really plant your your plants with this? No, right? Because it's not functional. it is aesthetically pleasing. It has good colors, good renderings, everything. It's easy to handle it, but you cannot use it. So I would like to thank Katrina Kamprani for making these useless things. You can find them in theuncomfortable.com. And believe me, it's in fact very difficult to create even these things. But in today's session, we are going to see only how to create useful things and functional things. So Fusion 360 is a complete platform where you have different workspaces. They are divided in such a way that they fulfill all the design essentials. So we can see that in a few minutes. Before that, let us see what are the design essentials. Coming to first functionality. In functionality, we need to keep in mind whether it serves the purpose and how well does it serve the purpose. What I mean is, suppose we are going to right now going to design cup, right? So will it be able to hold the hot beverage that we, and how much ml do we need to make it with? And also like how heavy is it to hold and how is the handle? So all these things come under functionality. So it should be serving the purpose well. And let's say if that the most important thing when that we need to evaluate while functionality is being looked into is, let me tell you, it is how many, what is your customer? Who is your customer? So especially if your customer is a small child, the cup that you have seen in the previous slide will not be able to work, right? So let's see how a company which makes toy products, right? So, and also some baby products, so you can see how they have designed this cup for the toddler. It's easy for them to hold and it has a lid because they don't finish it very soon, right? So you need to keep all these things in mind before proceeding. Then the next design essential is material. In the material, you need to keep in mind the following things: whether it is suitable, because if it has to hold some hot beverage or maybe a cool drink, whether it can hold it or not, that material, and it should be readily available material. And is it affordable? You can't make a cup out of gold, right? So nobody is going to purchase that. And the most important is it eco-friendly? Especially some products like, cups and all, they are mass manufactured. So the product that you're going to use is the material you're going to use is very important. Then comes the aesthetics. So we usually feel that aesthetics is not that important as functionality, but it is equally important. And if you're going to market your product, this is the most important. Let me tell you why. Because in this competitive world, when everybody is designing so many products, I can say that the first impression that anybody has is on the look of the product, right? So if you're going to have this cup, like, with crazy colors and all, who is going to buy? Like if it is for kids, the color should be different. If it's for a woman, the color should be different, right? So that you need to keep in mind while designing itself. And if you're going to keep this cup in an online store, how attractive is it than the other things, right? Now shopping has become very easy when everybody is buying online. So your aesthetics is the first thing, even before functionality. Only after buying, they will see the functionality. But before that, the aesthetic should be very pleasing. Only then we can move on. So for this, actually in Fusion, we have very good, Fusion 360, we have very good like workspace called rendering, where you can render your products. So that will show you in live, in real time, how they're going to look. Then comes manufacturability, which is also equally important. So if your product is going to be 3D printed, right, then how the aesthetic, how this model should be, how the design should be. And if it is going to be mass manufactured, then how it's, where to keep the molds and all that you need to keep in mind. Now, let's start designing in Fusion 360 and start to understand how it is going to be. Let me just one second. So this is my Fusion 360 screen. right? So here is a screen.
I think we cannot see that.
Oh, you're not
There you,
able to see that?
yes.
Oh, I'm not shared it. Okay, you share. 1 second. Okay, are you able to see it?
Yes, this is good now.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Thank you. Sorry for the glitch. Now this is a Fusion 360 screen. Hope you have all downloaded the screen and now you're able to see. So these are the different workspaces. And just like now we have seen, you can see this is a design workspace in which I am right now. And here is a place where functionality essentially is going to be fulfilled. So whatever ideas you have, this is the place where you're going to bring from your ideas to the virtual, to this virtual space, and the whole world can understand how it is going to, your product is going to be. Here is a place where you're going to design, modify, assemble, and do everything, right? Then comes the rendering module. In the rendering module, as I have discussed previously, you're going to add your lighting, colors, and all, and get some photorealistic images out of your product and then showcase them. This is usually the students, I've seen that many students' favorite module. And we have simulation module in which we can do some analysis, like we can do thermal analysis because we're going to design a cup, right? And manufacturing module where your tool paths for all your CNC and also for 3D printing, the slicing and all these things can be done in this platform. And finally, we have the drawing module in which you can, create your blueprints for that and then take it to the real manufacturing place. So in today's session, because it's only a half an hour session for Fusion 360, we are going to stick to only the design module. For the other modules, we have the upcoming webinars, so do attend them to know more about them, right? So what we are going to see now is the data panel. So here is the place where all your data is going to be stored. And the good news about Fusion is that, let me first create a project, right? So here I'm saying it's a new project. I'm going to create 3 types of cups for 3 different customers. So I'm going to name it as 3 types of cups project. And inside this, I can have my new folders and I can just keep my files, right? So the good news about Fusion 360 is that all your data is stored in cloud. So your system is not going to take the burden of the sizes of the files, right? So Autodesk has a very good server on which all your data is stored. Then what is the next advantage? Not only that your laptop doesn't store them, another important thing is that you don't need to carry your files from one place to another. Let us say you are attending this, you have made some model at your college. Then after going home, in your home laptop also, when you access with the same Fusion login, you will be having access to those files because it's being saved in cloud. So wherever, in whichever part of the world you are, you can access those files. Now, the third important thing is it's very easy to share. So you can just invite people. Here you can see I have people. So in this people, I can invite them, and if they on their Fusion, you can share your files and you can together work on the same project from different parts of the world, wherever you are. So this is a brief introduction about how it is cloud enabled software. And so let's get started for designing some things, right? So let us design a cup that you have just seen in the slides. Okay, this is a usual cup that you usually see, it's a professional one. So let's start designing with keeping the end customer as a professional. So for this, in this environment, you can see that here I can, in the document settings, I can edit my units. Because it's in mm, I'm not going to edit. And you have your origin over here. Origin is 3 planes and 3 axes. Right? So this is where this eye that you see will appear for all the tools, all the things that will be here. And you can always switch on the visibility and switch off the visibility of that. And at the bottom, you have navigation panel where you can rotate your object. You can move the object, right? And you can zoom in and zoom out. Let's start sketching. So first we need to go to 2D sketch. in which here I have create sketch. And for every tool in Fusion 360, there is an option that you can have a shortcut key. So once you get hands-on with this, it'll be a pleasure to work. So I'm going to create sketch. I'm going to select this bottom plane. And here I'm going to go for circle option. So I have this circle and then I'm going to dimension it. So this was going to be somewhere around 70 mm for me, right? Then I'm going to click on finish sketch. If you have seen, as I have moved to sketch module, all these tools have changed. So once I go back to finish sketch, again, I'll be reverted back to this 3D tools, right? So now I have this sketch. I'm going to extrude it. Extrude is a very, very powerful tool in Fusion. So I have extrude and I have this shortcut key E. So whenever I want, I'm only going to click E from next time to save time. So I have, this is the only profile. Now it is selected and I can move it, this handle over here and give this distance. I can also give it from here. I'll give it around 90 mm. This is going to be my height of the cup, right? But if you have seen the cup that you have in the previous slides, right? That is not so cylindrical. So we need to give some taper angle. Let's say I'm giving a taper angle of 10. Then I'll just say, okay. And you have created your first solid model, right? Then now next we are going to create handle of this, right? You must be thinking why it's not vacant. That also we'll be creating it. So first of all, now I need to select, I have to select this plane. So for this, I'm zooming out and selecting this plane and I'm clicking W because that is the shortcut that I have put for sketch. Or you can directly use the tool till you're accustomed to this. Now I'm going to select this tool called spline. And I'm going to draw the handle, right? So this is a handle I've drawn. I'm clicking OK to come out of the command. Now that this is the handle, I can adjust these points and make it look like the original product that I have seen. Then I can offset this one using the offset tool, right? And so my handle is ready, right? Let's see what will happen if I click on finish sketch. I go to extrude option, but I will not be able to extrude it. The reason is this figure is not closed. So for anything that has to be extruded, it has to be closed. So that is a basic rule. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click cancel over here. You can see at the bottom, this is called the timeline. So whatever I have been doing till now, all the operations are being recorded in the timeline. So here you can see from the starting, first of all, I can play and I can see that first I have created step by step. I can see that I had created the sketch, which is currently not visible. I can make it visible. Then next I had created the solid model and then I had created this cup, right? So this is a very useful tool because when you want to edit, you can double click on any of the features and go back to that feature to edit it. So I'm going back to my handle and then here I'm going to close this, right? And then I'm going to click finish sketch. So I'm going to now go for extrusion option. Now when I'm extruding, I do not want to extrude it to one side. I want to do it to both sides and symmetrically. So I'm selecting this from the dialog box and then here I'm going to select. I want the whole length to be 10 mm. So that's how I've selected. Now you can see that it is automatically gone to cut option. The reason is this part, the sketch is actually intersecting with the body. So intuitively Fusion thinks that we need to cut. That is why we have actually intersected, but it's not in our case. So I'm going to select join option. So I've joined this and I can click OK, right? So now my solid model is ready. Now you can see I'm going to show some magic to you. Now for making some changes to this handle, you might be thinking that we need to go back to our sketch, but I can do it if it is not dimension, I can do it from here also. I'm just switching on the visibility and I can alter this. You can see how nicely I can do it from here also, right? So let me keep this handle here, and then I would like to come out of this option. I can switch off this visibility because I have already edited it. So now, as you might have thought, I need to keep some vacancy for our ring. So I'm going to take this as my sketching plane. And here I have to go for drawing another circle. So for this, because the circle is already existing, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a projection of that. So in using project tool, I'm going to project this part, and then I can offset this by say, it is usually 2.5 to 3 mm thickness, and that should be inside. So when you do it this way, and I'm going to click finish sketch, even if you're going to alter the diameter of it, next time this thickness will not change, because you can alter the diameter in future probably. So then this thickness will remain the same because it is going to calculate it with the existing projection. So here when I go extrude, this time it's going to be a cut. I'm going to select the inner part and I'm going to cut. And you can see why it is cutting like this, right? Because I'm not given any taper angle. So I need to give a taper angle. So one second. I'm going to select this, and this time it has to be a cut, and I'm going to give say -50, right? So it can be even more. I can check here, but I need to give some taper angle of -10, right? So now you can see that is totally inside. If you have any doubt, I'm clicking OK. You can also check from here. In the visual style, I can go to wireframe, and you can see how your model is going to look. Then coming back, you can see that there's a lot of thickness. The reason why I've given more thickness is, how will your cup stand, right? So below I have to give some projection so that it stands still. So you can see these options. As a designer, it'll be a pleasure to see how each and every product is designed, right? So you can grab a cup in your house and you can just see how it is made, like where the things, different manufacturing things have been taken care of, different functionality things have been taken care of. So here I'm going to select this as my sketching plane, and I can project this. Take this as my reference, and I'm going to, so without using project also, because it lies in the same plane, without using the project also I can do, but I wanted to show you that tool. So I'm going to keep it as 2.5 mm, and this time I will cut it.
It's just a quick one, sorry to interrupt. I think I
Yes.
missed a very good question from Shushrut. Right?
Okay.
He's asking, can't we directly use shell option?
We can. That is actually I have saved it for the next cup. We can, but there is a small glitch that also let me explain, because I have given handle also, right? Because so that thing has to be taken care of. I'll explain it in the next. I hope you can wait for 5 minutes. I'm going to design another cup in which I wanted to show you that option, right? So here I have this cut and my cup is ready, right? So here you can see I can have this fillet. Fillet is very important tool. You can see all the things around you, have this, sorry, I want to give it for only this rim, and I'm going to give it as say 1 mm. Okay. And for this, another fillet, I'm giving it for this too. And this is also going to be around 1 mm. In the same dialog box, I can select multiple edges, right? So here again, I can give 1 mm, right? And also I want to give some fillet over here to this. Probably 2 mm. Okay, that's not failing. If it's not possible, it will fail. So similarly, I can give it even at the bottom. So just to rush quickly, I'm going to show you how to actually go for appearances. You just need to click A in your keyboard and appearances will appear. So this is a place where you can give your favorite colors to this cup. So I'm going to paint, I'm going to select glossy, and I'll be adding a color to this. Say I'm adding this red color. But this is not the color of the cup that we have seen. And there are selected colors over here. So what I can do is I can double click this and I can alter its color. So this looks close to the cup that we have seen. And so I'm giving this color and saying okay and closing this dialog box. So if you feel that this doesn't resemble, still you have time and I can alter this, right? Starting from the starting sketch itself, right? I can give this as 65 and you can see everything changes. Sometimes it can even crash, let me tell you, because you need to alter everything accordingly. But see now here, this fillet has changed, right? So this fillet can be modified because now the size has changed. There might be some issue with that. So I can delete this fillet and give it again, right? So you can see how this has been created. Now we are going to going to create another one. So I'm going to take a new file. And here you can see I'm going to make a new cup. So this time my customer is going to be a kid, right? A 2-year or 3-year-old kid. So just now we have seen that they need 2 handles and I'm going to add something more to that also. So I'm first going to create sketch. All the repetitive steps I'm going to avoid so that we can save some time. This time, instead of extrude, I'm going to directly go to cylinder, right? And here I'm going to give it as the diameter as 60 and the height as say 70, right? Then again, we are going to have this plane. I would like to go and have this plane. So now as how our attendee has asked this question, I'm going to answer it right now. So here you can see we have something called bodies. So this is one body. So in our component, this complete thing, you can take it as a component, like our cup is a component and we have a body. So the complete cup can be one body or it can be created as a combination of bodies. Like I can have the handle as a different body, the projections on this as a different body. Now there are some advantages of the way we create it, and it is completely up to the user on why we are creating it that way. Let me show you how. So now I have created this and I'm going to take this plane as my sketching plane, right? So here I'm going to create this, right? So I'm going to delete this line and I'm going to create. Now I want to discuss something about the constraints, right? So this is a horizontal and these are the constraints in the sketch module, right? Intuitively, Fusion keeps adding them as you start drawing them. But if you do not want them, you can delete them later also. This has to be horizontal, so I'm not deleting it. And here, again, I can delete this option. Now, here, you can see that this line, I'm going to draw another line, okay? And I can use extend tool to extend this line up to this. And also I can trim this portion. So similarly, I can add or I can directly join these two lines. And then after I click OK, I can give vertical constraint so that this and this, this one is a vertical. And also I can make both of them collinear all these things are available over here. If you want something to be midpoint, if you want them to be equal, I want these two to be equal. So I can click this equality constraint and they all will be equal, right? So this and this should be equal. So all these constraints I can give it here. Now I'm going to add a small thing. Right now we know that this is a handle, but let us make this handle a little bit more supportive for the child by giving some things, some projections so that they can hold it easily, like where they can keep their fingers. So for this, I'm going to add this kind of thing so that it is easier for them to hold. This is not something that is compulsory, but it will be easier for them to hold. You might have seen the Johnson's baby toothbrush, how it is made. There is a small, insertion for the baby to hold his hand. They can have their, thumb finger on the brush. So it's easier for them to hold. So similarly, you can have this kind of things or any other, because in a hurry, I'm not going to dimension this, right? So this is a cup. Now I can, so this is where actually I'm going to answer the shell command, like when someone was asking about the shell command. So now when I extrude this, I'm going to use join option, symmetric, and both sides, right? So for both sides, I want to give it as 10 or 5 mm for one side. So this is my handle that you are seeing. Now this portion, you can see there is only one body. Now when I'm going to click shell, what shell option does is it equally removes the material and keeps a constant amount of material it maintains. Suppose if I want to remove this portion, right, it has to have an open lid. I can select this one and the inside thickness, I can give it as 2.5 mm, right? Good. Now, let us see how it is going to look in wireframe. In wireframe, you can see there is some disturbance. Let me take you to the timeline and I'm going how it is going to look before the shell and how it is going to look after the shell. You can see that, right? So that is the reason why we should not be adding shell before we do something. And that thing is, before I go for this option, I can move it on my timeline. I can edit this and I can say that this should be a new body, right? If this is a new body, and then if I'm going to add shell, this portion will not be using that option. But now we'll be having a new problem. Let us see how. So now I'm going to add shell command. Is it okay? But here there is something. You can see this body has not been disturbed. So this extra portions, which I've just added randomly without any dimensions, this you can see. So again, you can go back to your first sketch. Because you want to use the shell option, you need to edit them. You can keep it in the wireframe and edit them, right? And finish sketch. Now this is going to be inside this and we have used the shell option. So this is the only reason I did not use the shell option previously, because I wanted to explain this portion that handle should be different. I hope this concept is clear. Okay, we'll definitely take this question answers at the end. And if you have more doubts, I'm ready to answer, right? Now this portion, we know that this handle should be on the other side also. So I'm going to have this. I'm going to avoid giving fillets to save time. So I can go to create and mirror, and I'm going to mirror this feature. I can also select bodies because now our handle is a different body, but I'm going to use features option and I'm going to use this feature, which has to be mirrored on this line, right? So this is my cup. Now I know that these are sharp edges, but Please pardon me, we have running out of time. So because anyway, I've shown that option. Now what I'm going to do is, because it's a kids thing, right? I want to show some other thing. Now it has to be made attractive for a kid. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this plane and I'm going to go for sketching option. Sorry, I'm going to delete this. I'm sorry. So I'm going to construct another plane, right? Which is offset at some distance from this. So I have another plane. When do we go for construction? The thing is, when we do not have the planes that are required, till now we were lucky that all the planes where we wanted to sketch were available. Now when they're not available, you need to choose this option. Now, so I have this offset plane. What I'm going to do is I'm going to insert a Mickey Mouse SVG file onto this plane, right? So I can adjust it where it has to be, and I'm going to reduce the size and I'm going to keep it here, right? And I'm going to click finish sketch. Now, what will happen if I extrude this figure? Let's see. I'm going to extrude by selecting all this. So now I'm going to select, till now from the profile plane perpendicularly we were extruding, right? But I want this to be on the face of this, right? On this circular thing, I want this to be protruded from. So instead of profile plane, I will select from object. So you can see in the extrude itself, there are so many options available. So I'm going to select this face. And from here, I want it to be extruded to say 1 mm, right? So you can see how this is going to look. Now, after selecting OK, you can see that I have this. And you can see that this is a separate, when I double click, you can see that it is in the join option. So instead of join, I can make it as a new body also, but that is up to us. So when I make it as a different body, you can see now I have in my this thing so many other bodies, because for this, everything is a different body. So many bodies have come. It is not necessary we can use the join option itself, because it will look like a solid model and we're not going to perform any other operations on this, right? As a body which will actually create some hindrances. So moving on, I'm going to show you how this is going to look after adding colors, because you know how to add them. Now there is another customer that I have, and who is a homemaker who actually likes different shapes for her teacups, right? So for her, let us design something. So I'm going to create, unlike circle, I'm going to create a polygon. So in this polygon, I can have this, and I can have 30. I'm giving it as say 30, right? So, and I'm also going to give some fillets to this. I can give fillets in sketch also. So, and then I have in the same sketch, I would like to create an offset, right? So here I'm going to give it as minus 2.5, right? So now I'll show you while designing this cup, I want to show you how, instead of, selecting the sketch again or drawing new sketches in the same sketch, using the same sketch, I'm going to do multiple extrusions. So here, I'm going for extrude option. So in the extrude, first of all, I'm going to select everything, and we have 10 mm. I'm going to give this as 10 mm. but I'm going to give a taper of 10 also. So a little bit height I can increase up to 15. Then the same thing you can see now in the side view how it is going to look. Now I'm not going to create any sketch, but I can select this face and then extrude it. So now I'm going to extrude it to say 30, right? And you know that I have already created the sketch and I'm highlighting this visibility and I'm going to select this face. And now again, I'm going to use the extrude tool and going to create its base, right? So you can see from the same sketch, instead of entering multiple times, I can use the same sketch for multiple things. Now I'm going to create the handle in a little different way than we have created previously. So I have to select this plane, right? And I'm going to create this line. Right? So I'm going to say, okay, let us make it a little bit longer. Right? And I'm going to say finish. You must be wondering, like, this is not a close figure now, what I'm going to do. So instead of extrude, what I'm going to do is I can go for pipe option. So in this pipe option, you can see that whatever line we are taking, around that a cross section is formed, which I can alter from this dialog box. So instead of circular, I want it to be square, and I want the cross section to be, say, 4 mm. Okay, 4 looks small. I can make it probably 5 mm, right? So, sorry, it is in the cut option. I can make it as new body, right? So here again, if you have seen, this is body 1 and this is body 2. Now I can edit this bottom one and make it as a new body. The reason I'm making it is, now you know, because I want to make shell option. And I want that shell option to be applied only on this body. So I'm going to use shell option and I'm going to give it as 2.5 mm. Then I can definitely give renderings to it and fillets to it, which you have already seen. So let's move back. Now we have like designed these three, how they're going to look after rendering. I'm not going to add any more things, just fillets and colors to this, which you have seen for the first cup. So let me take you back to my presentation. Right? Hope everybody is able to see my presentation.
Yes, it's visible now.
Yes, yes. Okay. So now we're back into our presentation. So you have seen what cups I've designed. So this is the first one, and this is going to be the second one, which is going to be targeting the young kids, you know. And then this is for the homemaker, something fancy, right? And you might be thinking that cups, what more creativity can be there? But I'll show you some examples which I really liked while preparing for, you know, this cups kind of webinar. So see some interesting examples on how you can add more creativity to this. So you can see a cup which has some holdings for the biscuits also, right? So this makes exact tea time kind of thing. And this is another cup which of course looks good, but it is handy to carry because it is collapsible. So you can carry it wherever you want. Then you can hold it, have it in your tea store. I mean, like in your office and all, you can just have it from the coffee machine. And then this is a very like current thing that is going on. This is on Kickstarter. So, and this has raised a lots and lots of dollars for this. This is a simple bottle, come cup, come lid. So you can only carry the bottle, you can have the cup. So we can come up with as many number of ideas that we want, right? And it might look like a simple product, but there will be some room for creativity always, and you can make any product more and more better than previous one. So coming to the challenge, I hope we are running out of the time. I'll just want to announce for this challenge. Your challenge is, please design a cup or a furniture item just using the extrude tool that you have seen in today's webinar. Just extrude tool, right? So even if you know more tools, it's okay. Extrude, you can use some of the other tools also which I've discussed, and you can prepare, and then you can have either a cup or a furniture item, right? And then you please mail them to me to mekethart@gmail.com. So if any best entries, I will share them on my LinkedIn and Instagram account. And there's a small prize also for the top 3 best entries. I'll give you the free coupon to my Udemy so that you can continue learning Fusion 360. So these are the acknowledgements. These are the different people who have, helped me with their images. So over to you, Varun. Can we get back to the question answer session?
Yes, thank you so much, Sirsa, for such an insightful session. So guys, I also do a little bit of designing, and I just quickly want to show you something which I recently worked. And I do like home gardening, and because of this pandemic thing, so I started doing all sort of things, and I'm very much into 3D printing. So I printed all these things together, and it's not a rocket science. Basically, it's like a small wall planter with a good attachment that can fit a good a market ready standard screw. So the dimensions are like 7 inches by 4.5 inch by 4.4. And this looks like this, and this is the real one. And I published this on Thingiverse also, right? So people have recently started making that. Whatever I design, usually I share with everybody. Once again, thank you so much. Thank you, Sirsa, and thank you all the participants for joining.
Thanks,
and recording will be available soon.
Yes.
And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.